we're all on the same page. The DMZ is far from complete, right? And now the future of the DMZ is looking very confusing, with it basically confirmed that instead of the 2-year COD cycle that we were originally promised, we will be getting an entirely new game in 2023, with betas already planned for October this year. And because that it said that it's going to carry over from the current Call of Duty, it's expected to be a Modern Warfare 3 remake. So never mind the bugs, new features, and continued content plans for the game that made them over $800 million almost in the first day of its launch. Nah. Let's just go ahead and put out a whole new $70 title with all new purchasable cosmetics and battle pass system, and basically in development of Modern Warfare 2 less than a year after launch. Now, whatever with all that, but what does that mean for DMZ? What is going to be its priority level going forward? And what should we expect to see from it after the launch of the next Call of Duty game? Being a game mode that actually falls under Warzone 2 as a beta, there's still so much that needs to be fixed and added for the DMZ to go from beta to full release. And the devs haven't communicated any type of timeline for these things, leaving us only to assume that they don't have one, and that they're also not sure what to do with the DMZ long term. Right now, the AI is the main topic of discussion when it comes to what needs to be fixed to improve the experience right now. There's definitely still word of people crashing and other various bugs that players are frustrated with, but the vast majority of players, or should I say potential players, were turned off at launch or in these first couple of months of release by what they thought and hoped the DMZ was going to be, compared to what we actually got.
This is pretty much a touched up plunder, it feels like. I'm a little disappointed. It seems to be, well, COD.
Shroud said that during the first ever gameplay reveal of the DMZ, and it's still true to this day. When you think about it, we're just playing plunder with extra steps. Look, when the first Warzone released, it was groundbreaking. There were other battle royales, but there was no other Call of Duty game mode that had anything like that. And the community was enamored. That's why it did so well. With DMZ, it just hasn't been like that. It really just doesn't set itself apart from Warzone. I mean, I can't be the only one that expected so much more. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear in the comments below, dude, it's still in beta. Stop complaining. The game mode is fine as it is. No, it's clearly not. Warzone 2 has been bleeding players since launch, so much more so than Warzone 1 did when it released. And DMZ numbers, which fall under that, are following the same path. Now, a lot of that is because of the game-breaking bugs, but maintaining the player base that they have left and gaining new players, as well as bringing some of the old ones who quit back, will only happen if the DMZ has meaningful content additions in these upcoming seasons. And Season 2 just ain't it. If the only changes that they're gonna make to the DMZ with every new season is a new map, maybe some new missions, new weapons, and skins, then I don't see how this game mode is gonna survive through the next COD cycle. Why would players keep coming back to play when there's no real progression once you finish the faction missions and extract the weapons cases for exclusive skins? Why would you keep playing? And why would you keep watching without subscribing? If you like to stay up to date on what's going on with DMZ and other upcoming extraction shooters in this genre, join our sexy little family by pressing that little button. Yo, and let me know in the comments below when you do, so I can float you some of those positive vibes. Thanks in advance. But my point was, anything that you obtain from the DMZ right now just pretty much gets washed at the end of every match. But you get to keep keys, player 2. Yeah, to drop in with and unlock doors loaded with more items that just get washed at the end of every match. You also get to keep contraband weapons though, player 2. Yep, which again are basically useless since you can't customize them, leading your main focus to be on your insured weapons, which can't be lost, only put on a cooldown upon death. There's just nothing to do after a while, except PvP, which at that point, you can just play Warzone. The only difference would be the closing circle patterns and the exfilling. That's it. And that is the problem. The DMZ needs to be an entirely separate thing. They could have immediately differentiated with a minimalistic HUD and TAC map without all the notifications and spoon feeding of where everything is. In fact, I think they killed it with Building 21, at least when it comes to the map. Having to use the signs on the walls to determine your location or where to find stuff because your TAC map is disabled at that location is just gold. And it proves that the community can handle not knowing where every single little thing is located right off the bat, offering up more opportunity to learn the map over time and let Call of Duty players get an entirely new experience. Like, can you imagine going into Al Mazrah with basically no HUD, and let's just say only the radiation circle, major POIs, activated UAV towers, and other PvP related markers like that, the helo commander and supply drop showing on your TAC map, and then everything else is just hidden, allowing you to explore and find what you need over time. Then you'd have to learn the different spawn locations for the Juggernaut and kind of guess which one he's going to be at every match. And yeah, the weapons case would appear, but only once the Jug had dropped it. I actually think that would have helped out a lot of solo players getting the cases easier upon launch. On top of that, I've already talked a lot about them adding lootable weapon attachments and making contraband weapons customizable, as well as an out-of-match trader system and larger stash to store items that you buy and bring back from raids. These type of additions would bring players back and bring in all sorts of new ones that had zero desire to play before, and it would really give them a reason to push the DMZ's development leading up to and after the next Call of Duty title. The problem is, big things like this will likely not happen because of one major factor: money. This has been controversial every single time I've said it in a video, and I really think that's due to the lack of understanding of how games in this specific genre work, as well as some of you thinking I'm saying take the insured weapons out and leave the game as it is, which is also not what I'm about to say. What I do want to say is the insured weapon slot killed the DMZ from the start for a plethora of reasons. Let me show you what the alternative would look like. Okay, so insured weapons are now gone. You have a stash that's just called weapons now, as well as a stash for attachments. Any Giga Chad pissing into a professionally built hose leading to the bottom of their chair while sucking down a Mountain Dew while feeding the ducks to their Orion camo will not have access to their OP weapon build that they came over into the DMZ with. And neither will anybody else. Everyone will have to loot, snag off of other players, and buy from the all-new trader system back at the base whatever attachments and weapons that they want to equip in their loadout. And then if you take any of those with you into the DMZ and die, you lose them and will have to build and collect new ones. This change alone would make for a completely different DMZ and would add a whole new line of progression for building up a weapon stash with guns that you've built yourself. After that, you make the good weapons and attachments difficult to find in matches, and the guns that you loot off of AI very mediocre, while also making lethals, tacticals, field upgrades, kill streaks, plate carriers, and so on tougher to find as well. This will give more credence to buying them or buying keys to get them from the new trader system outside the match. Then if each trader is attached to a faction, certain items won't even be available for you to purchase until you've unlocked them with your faction missions, giving you even more to progress towards. Those traders could have dailies and weekly objectives where they need you to bring them some items back from the DMZ in exchange for cash and other items, which would give you something new to look forward to every day that you drop in. And then you'd have a contraband item stash that will hold random stuff like toothbrushes and screwdrivers. But like I said before, for any of that to work, they would have to remove the insured weapon slot system. With access to that, you're just gonna have no reason for all the other stuff. And if players continue to drop off over the seasons, it's not outside the realm of possibility for them to just cut the cord on DMZ and move on to the next thing and make some more money, which would actually suck because I really do like this game mode. It has so much potential going forward. Even in the state it's in, I'm still having fun playing it. I'm just unsure of how long that's gonna last. There are lots of upcoming extraction looter shooters like the DMZ coming out over this next year that have some serious potential. And with some of them already confirmed as cross-platform, they could easily take from the DMZ player base if the devs don't add some real meat to this game mode. Here's everything that we currently know about the top 5 upcoming extraction looter shooters we could be getting in 2023. This whole video is timestamped, by the way, so you can skip around at your own convenience. See you there.